Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sounds of You with Saxophonist Jamal Riley. In this video I'm going to be talking about where do I get my saxophone from? What do I look for? How much does it cost? I have so many questions. Well, I'm going to do my best to answer as many questions as I can think of, at least that I've experienced over the years, and hopefully you found this helpful, okay? So, first question, where do I even get the saxophone from? Okay, so here's my thing. If you're looking to get a saxophone, it is my advice that you go to a music store. I do not recommend buying one offline for several reasons. There are some exceptions, but 9 times out of 10 I do not recommend buying an instrument offline. I recommend going to a store. And once you get to a store, do not buy an instrument outright. Do not buy your alto saxophone outright. So alto saxophone, well, all instruments for the most part come in like 3 tiers, if you will. Like I mentioned, you got beginner, intermediate, and you got advanced, or what we call professional. What you're going to be looking for is going to be a beginner level alto saxophone. Okay. Now, like I said, depending upon your situation, with your band director, in children's case, you may be in a position to get a tenor. But like I said, the majority of this video I'm going to be talking about the alto because that's where most people start, okay? So, you're going to go to the music store, or you can call ahead before you go. Hey, do you have alto saxophones? Okay, yes, okay. So, here's my next recommendation. When you get to the alto saxophones, normally start, good alto saxophones are usually somewhere between $900 and $2,100. So, now there are some people who be like, hey, my child getting a saxophone may be a sure thing. I'm just gonna buy one outright. I do not recommend buying an instrument outright for several reasons. Now, granted, they do have rental options, but I'm going to cover buying it outright first. Now, technically, yes, buying it outright is cheaper in the long run. Not tremendously cheaper. Depends upon the store, but it's even though renting is slightly more expensive, it's way more worth it. You have way more protection when you rent. So let's talk about buying it outright. So here's what I've seen numerous of times. You got an adult who wants to buy their child, just outright buy their child this instrument. It's nothing. Buy, like I said, between $900, $2,100, depending upon its new or used. Okay, I'm gonna just a sidebar. I'm gonna be making a lot of car analogies in this video, not because I'm some car guru or nothing like that, but it's just a common ground that most people understand. Okay, if you buy one outright, you keep in mind children can be a little indecisive. Especially if they transition to middle school, they don't quite know what they want to do yet. You know what I mean? So, it's a number of instruments in the band. Like I said, when you first start band, they usually ask you, do you want to play flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, or trombone? Those usually 5, maybe, and percussion. But usually these 5 are the ones they ask you about. And so, here's the thing: when you buy an instrument outright, suppose you buy this instrument outright and your child doesn't like it anymore, or after a year, after the time that after the return date has expired, now you got $1,400-$1,500 sitting in your closet, and which now makes it harder on the next child because you like the next child want to play something. You don't learn from the first child, and they might not get an opportunity because the first one they can put a sour taste in your mouth. Now, on average, like I said, I know the range is between $900 and $2,100. On average, they're usually somewhere between $1,100 to $1,400 on average. They're usually not that. Now, the better ones are, but they're usually not $2,000. Like I said, you may even find them. Now, we're talking about good ones now. Okay. So that's usually around the average. Okay. So like I said, if your child doesn't keep it, now you wasted that money, and good luck trying to sell it to someone else. That can be a hard thing too.